Hello everyone, welcome to Introduction to Data Mining class. In this unit, we will introduce MATLAB data storage. In this hands-on experience, we will practice how to store data in MATLAB. This includes how to create a variable, how to create a vector, how to create a matrix, and how to use index and linear index, and also the column operator. First, we start with the variable. In MATLAB, you can simply create any variable in the command window. For example, a equal 10. Or you can also write a equal 10 with a semicolon. Both statements are exactly the same, except the second one with the semicolon, it will suppress the display. For instance, when you run a equal 10 with the semicolon, you will not see the response result a equal 10. The second we are going to introduce is how to create a vector. A vector is a collection of values. Assume we want to create a vector v, and assume the v is a row vector. Okay, a row vector is a couple of values stored in a row. Okay, to create a vector or the matrix, we need to use the square bracket. If we want to create a row vector, then we just enter the value. For example, 1, and separate with a comma, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will give you a row vector with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Assume you want to create a column vector. Let's say we want to create a column vector C. And column vector, we also want to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but this will create a column instead of a row. So in this case, we still use square bracket. To change to the next row, we use semicolon. So you can see 1 semicolon, 2 semicolon, 3 semicolon, 4 semicolon, and 5. This will give you a column vector of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Typically, when you create a row vector, the comma can be omitted. Okay, for instance, let's say if I want to create a vector b with 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50, I can simply type 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And if you hit enter, you will see it still create a row vector. All right, so this is how you create vector in MATLAB. The third topic is the matrix. When you need to create a matrix is combined of row and column. So assume we want to create an M. The variable M is a matrix. Still the same, we start with the square bracket. Okay, so we create the first row first. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we switch to the next row, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and we assume we want to create a third row, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So this will create a 2-row, 5-column matrix. Okay, so as you can see, the output result is 3-row, 5-column. Right. So all of this variable, vector, or matrix, after you create, they store as in the memory. So you can see if you switch to the workspace, you will see the value in it. Okay, for M, because it's a matrix which is difficult to hold to show you all the values, So basically it will show you the number of row by number of column. So MATLAB is always row first. Okay, so it's a 3 row, 5 column, and the data type is double. Okay, if you want to see the whole matrix, we can open the variable editor. We can double click on the variable name M, and so the matrix will be open in the variable editor. So if you can simply edit those values in the variable editor. All right. The next topic we talk about is index and linear index. Okay. So we will talk about this through different type of variable. If it's a variable that's a single value, okay, so to access the single value, you can simply type A. For example, if I want to retrieve 10, simply type A. Of course, 8 itself is also a vector or a matrix. Okay, it's a one value vector, or it's a one row, one column matrix. Okay, so you can also apply A1. Okay, you also get 10, or A1, 1. So this is also you get 10. Okay, A1 is a style of vector, and A11 is the style of matrix. Okay, in MATLAB, the index is represented using the parenthesis, not the square bracket. And the first value, if it's a linear, then that's a sequential value. But if it's in the matrix form, you have a row index as the first value, separated by comma, with the second value is the column index. So it's a row by column. Okay. All right. Okay. In addition to that, so we will try another example. Assume I want to retrieve the value B. Okay. And as you can see, B is 10, 20, 30. Okay, assume I want to retrieve the third element. So B3 will give you 30. Okay, so another important thing I want to mention here is the MATLAB index not start from 0. The MATLAB index start from 1. Okay, this is very important because in Java or some other programming language, we start from 0. But in MATLAB, we always start from 1. Okay. Similarly, in the column vector, for example, I want to retrieve the number 4. Okay, so that's a C4. So as you can see, you get 4. Okay. The last one is M. Okay. M is a matrix. Okay, so assume I want to retrieve a particular value, for example, number 8. So as you can see, number 8 is in row 2, column 3. So you can try M, row 2, column 3, and you can get 8. All right, so let me call out the M matrix again. All right. Similarly, if I want to retrieve row 3, column 2, so you can see that's 12. Okay. All right. So this is how MATLAB index work. Okay. And MATLAB also offers the second type of index called a linear index. Okay. Linear index is for the entire matrix, we can number each element with a unique number. Okay. So it starts from the first column, from the first row to the last row. For example, in M, the index for 1 is 1. The linear index for 6 is 2. And the linear index for 11 is 3. Okay. Then we switch to the second column. The linear index for 2 will be 4. And the linear index for 7 will be 5. And the linear index for 12 will be 6. So basically it follows this pattern from the first element to the end. Okay, so for example, I want to retrieve 12, okay, using linear index. in this time, the linear index has only one value, so I can enter M6. This will give you 12 as well. In addition, in MATLAB, there is a very powerful operator, the column operator. Okay, the column operator allowed you to retrieve or access a bunch of elements at the same time. How do you use column operator? For example, assume I want to retrieve the area in M with 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9 all at once. So I can enter M with a parenthesis. I want to retrieve first row to second row, okay, and the second column to fourth column, okay. So this will give you 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Similarly, if I want to retrieve only the value 6, 7, 8, 9, and 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so I can enter row 2 to row 3, and then for column 1 to column 4. So this will give you the small matrix extracted from a specific area. Okay. In addition, we can also use column operator by itself. Okay. So when the column operator used by itself without any number before and after, it means all. So the entire row or entire column. For instance, if I want to retrieve the last column in the M, that's 5, 10, 15, okay, so I can simply use all row column 5, so this will give you 5, 10, 15, okay. So another way to use it, for example, if I want to retrieve the entire column, the entire row, for example, if I want to retrieve the second row, that will be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so M with all the row 2, all column. So this will give you 6, 8, 9, 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. All right. So column can also combine with number or and also the keywords and. Okay. And means the last element in the array. Okay. For instance, let's see if we want to retrieve the last row. So M, the last row, so I can simply type END as end, okay, and the entire column. So this will give you the 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, okay. Of course, you can count back. N minus 1 will give you 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all right. Similarly, you can also use that to retrieve columns. So for example, M all row with the last column. Okay, so you will see 5, 10, 15. So for example, I want to retrieve N minus 2 column. So this will give you 3, 8, 13. All right, okay. Another way is you can also combine the index. For example, I want to retrieve all row, but only the second column to the n minus 1 column. So for example, I want to retrieve from 2 to n minus 1. Okay, so this will give you 2, 7, 12, 3, 8, 13, 4, 9, 14, the 3 column. All right, okay. So do you know how to use column? All right. Thank you for watching the video. Bye-bye.